Hello there. So you're probably wondering where the hell this has been. And the thing is that halfway through the recording, I figured out that the drive it was recording to was about to run out of space. And so I moved the drive that it was in, but I guess I clicked the wrong folder to move it to because I lost it for like a few months and I searched and searched and I could not find the second half. And now I finally have it, and now we finally have the full podcast here. So, yeah, I hope you guys are excited for this. I'm not sure when the next episode's coming out. It's been hard to schedule things recently between all four of us, but hopefully there will be an episode 4. Hopefully it will be a lot sooner than episode 3. So, yeah. In the meantime, maybe you guys should, while you're here, should hit that subscribe button and that bell, so that I've got more projects coming other than the podcast. I've got some tech videos and everything, as you can see with the new wall of tech. So maybe hit that subscribe button and everything. And anyways, yeah. Without any further ado, enjoy episode 3 of the podcast featuring VoiceOverPete.
The Inefficient podcast is the button has been pressed inefficiently.
All right, everyone, and welcome back to episode 4 of the Inefficient podcast. I am here with Sir Grumple.
Hello.
Mr. Modix.
Good day.
And our first guest, VoiceOverPete.
Well, this is going to be epic.
Yes, it is. And my name is Cat Pirate, of course, and we are your hosts for today. So, Pete, for those of the uninformed and uneducated in the audience, the 3 of them out there, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do?
The 3 of them. First, I want to give a shout-out of some of the merch that you're wearing, Cat.
Thank you.
Dang, dude. Dang.
I love it, too. It's a nice shirt.
It is outstanding. Where could somebody go ahead and get some of that merch?
From this little known website called represent.com/voiceoverpete.
I bet you can somehow find a link somewhere.
I'll
in
post it
the
on the I'll post it
in
the
the
description.
podcast. Brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant. Oh, Modix, you're a natural.
You know how they say
So-
pay to win? This is pay to be epic.
Yeah, I've noticed that my epic levels have increased since I've been wearing this shirt. So yeah,
Oh, well, it's been said.
it's scientific fact.
It's truly magical.
So, yes, I came from a humble background of years in corporate life, sales executive. I had some great jobs, and I had some jobs I took only to put food on the table. So definitely a mix. Some of my jobs enabled me to travel the world, and I'm not flexing. I'm just putting it out. This is what I did, and I think I have 1 million miles on Delta. I've traveled so much. So it opened all sorts of opportunities to really meet and greet people from all over the world. And that was quite a privilege. Also, I made some good money. So that, too, was quite a privilege.
Yeah.
I couldn't do then in today's environment. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
With all the social distancing and everything, people would have never done it. And you're not going to close deals. So that has always been my story of I'm in technology because I love tech. I love tech. So if it's a screen, chances are I'm going to watch it and like it. So I then got bounced around a little bit during the tumultuous years in the telecom industry as they were going with mergers and acquisitions. And it's great when you're the merger. It stinks to high heaven when you're the merge-e. So I found myself all too many times at the dance, the music stopped, and there's no chair for me to sit on. So my son came forward and said, look, Dad, why don't you go on this freelancer platform, be a freelancer, and start with something simple like voiceovers? I was like, well, it can't hurt. So I put it out there on this platform called Fiverr, and I did okay. I did okay, but it was clear I'm not going to be able to pay the mortgage at this rate. So I went ahead and thought about it and talked to my son. He said, Dad, you were a sales executive. You make presentations to these CXOs from around the world. Why don't you be a video spokesperson? I was like, huh, that means I need a studio. Well, why don't we use so-and-so's? Ah, all right, let's give it a try. So I made my promo video after borrowing a studio down the street, literally, and I blew up. I could not keep up. I was doing 18-hour days between shooting, contacting, and then editing. And my wife said, something's got to change because you're literally working yourself to death. So, but at least I was finally making some real money. So thankfully, I reached out. I got an editor. I upgraded things. I built a studio and converted my garage, 2-car garage, into a studio. Impressive. So I got things working pretty darn well. And the next thing you know, 5 years goes by. I'm a top-rated seller. Made some good money on Fiverr. And then one day, this little YouTuber, Maddox, maybe you can relate to this. This YouTuber comes to me and says, I want a meme. Here's my script. And I check it over because I don't do, from day one, I never did any profanity. I never put down people. And I wanted to make sure there was no violation of terms. So I looked the script over and I'm like, yeah, it's fine. It's just a meme. It's a joke. Hello, it's fine. So I go ahead, I do it, put it out there, and he posted on his channel, and the next thing you know, it blows up. It goes viral. It's everywhere. And all of a sudden, my queue goes from about 200 videos a month to around 300 to 400 videos is in my queue, but I couldn't keep up. So I kept putting myself on vacation. I think I got up to over 500 videos at one time. And I kept raising my prices. Something you normally don't do at Fiverr. So the price kept going up. People were in line trying to get videos. And that was for a solid month. It was a great month. I broke all sorts of records. I was like, dang. So imagine my surprise as I'm in the studio. It's Monday. My son comes right in while I'm shooting up some videos. He goes, Dad, you're banned. I'm like, Peach, I'm shooting a video literally right now. What are you doing? Dad, Grande said you're banned. I'm like, Peach, who's Grande? He goes, go ahead, log out and log in. He goes, I'm going to go ahead and film it right now. I was like, fine, do it. So that was first mistake. He films me logging in. Later, when we posted the video, they watched my keystrokes and hacked my account. Anyway, so
did they?
little known fact.
That's news to me.
Oopsie. Well, what am I supposed to do? Put it in the next video?
Yeah.
I will not be filming my keystrokes. So it does go, on, and it does go viral. And within a week, I had 500,000 subscribers. And I'm like, I don't know, boys, this YouTube thing, it's pretty darn easy. But the perfect storm happened, right? You had PewDiePie with not one, but 2 shout-outs in 1 week. Ninja gets in there. He's like, you got to do something for me. Let's get together and do something. Even Keenstar jumped in. Grande with the shout out too. It was the perfect storm. So it turned that great big mega spotlight of the internet or the YouTube world and shined it at me. And everyone's like, well, who the heck is this guy? In a good way. And I, at that point, said, okay, one door closes, another door opens. Let's open them all and see what happens. So I walked through, started YouTube, started gaming, started Patreon, started my own website. Here we are today, a mere 1.5 years later.
Yeah.
It's always surprising how well things can work out if like the good part of the internet just raises like all lights on you just to help
Yeah.
out.
I
Like I
agree.
can think of one other example where that really changed somebody. Should I name it right now, or
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it positive or negative?
it was a very positive one.
Sure, sure.
The French YouTuber going by the name Republic Attack,
I
like
remember.
almost 2 years ago, he got most of his Lego collection stolen, which is a
Aw.
collection that was worth like $20,000. He got
Aw.
like 90% of it stolen.
Ah.
So, and at the time, like I've been subscribed for him like 8 years now.
Yeah, same here. Like,
8 years, like back
we-
when
we-
he had
Monarch's
not even
not-
1,000 subscribers.
yeah, Mox and I have been watching this guy since we were like, 10 years old.
Yes, exactly. Like he has been on YouTube for
Yeah.
10 years now. Like I watched. He at the time he had like 4,500 subscribers. Then he just posted a buy video. Like
Hmm.
he wanted to give up on Lego because well it got stolen and well how do you rebuild like such a collection? I mean, money is
Yeah.
technically replaceable, but it's also like the values and sort of things you
And that's still like $20,000
associate
just
with
gone.
like the stuff. And an American YouTuber by the name M&R Productions created a GoFundMe page for Republic Attack to sort of have the financial capabilities to rebuild it. It's not the same,
Yeah.
but it's sort of how do you say
Renewed. It's a new generation.
first aid, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the goal was to raise $1,000. Well, I think in 36 hours it was at $18,000. His video the buy video went viral on Reddit and YouTube, and within like a week he had 500,000 subscribers. Lots of people willing to donate to the GoFundMe, and he actually at like $18,000 he said, just close it, I don't want more money than I lost.
Didn't the voice actor, not the voice actor, the actor for Ray come out to him on Twitter as well and be like,
I'm not
help
certain
this guy?
about that.
Daisy
What I
Ridley,
know
yeah.
is like he got a like Star Wars set, and he got it signed by I think 3 of the 4 main actors from the new trilogy as sort of a nice gift from Lego, which
Yeah.
was very nice. And well, he continues to make videos now and is very happy with his new collection. That was
Maybe a little
one
jump cut.
example of like the internet just being the best place ever and helping somebody out.
Yeah.
I mean, like the whole thing is kind of like sad, really, but
It is very sad.
Out of that hardship, still a huge positivity came out of it. So not only did he kind of get his stuff back, not really, obviously he was like collecting for years, but I only
17
found his
years.
channel because of that video,
Yeah.
because of that situation. I was like, wow, that is so sad. I go watch the video, I'm like, and he looked very sad too, obviously.
Yes.
But I was like, oh, wow, that's so sad. And I followed him, though. I subscribed to him because I'm like, maybe something will happen. And then a whole bunch of people also, I saw it on Reddit and everything, a whole bunch of people started subscribing to him because of how this dark time in his life. They wanted to support him. All the story that Monix mentioned happened. And now he actually has a lot bigger following than he did in the past.
Yeah, kind of like Filza on Minecraft. He was doing okay and everything. And then when he died, he became a true sensation. And next thing you know, he doubled and then tripled his viewers. So
Unfortunately, he was dead and could no longer post content, but
yeah, not quite. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
died in Minecraft.
Imagine.
To be clear.
Yeah.
Imagine.
He's on his quest to find the respawn button.
Aren't we all? Isn't that the meaning of
Yes.
life? To find the respawn button. That just got really deep.
Yes.
Well, I guess that kind of like we did have a couple questions that we wanted to
Yeah.
ask you, Pete, that we thought you were like the
Exactly.
perfect person to ask, because in a way you're our e-dad and you're also the rest of the community's e-dad, because you just I remember those segments of I forgot the name of it right now, but
Dad
the
Talk.
one
Dad talk.
Thank
Yes.
you, yes, the dad talks. Those were one of my favorite. I always felt like you could give really good advice no matter what the subject is. And so we kind of like came up with some questions where let me find them right now. Hold on. Yes. What are some of the most influential moments in your life? Maybe a moment or moments you will never forget that have greatly impacted you and made you into the man that you are today.
Dang, nice softball question, Grump. Thanks.
Or you can take your time. I feel like I've always wanted to ask that, and I have a feeling a lot of other people have wanted to ask you like something like that. Especially, I don't know, especially nowadays. You know, it's like we need as much good advice and moments from good people, great people that we can apply in our lives or inspire us.
Well, I'm not in the great people group, but I will say my childhood, my growing up wasn't any different than anyone else's. Grew up in Chicago. Dad was a garbage truck driver. So pretty middle class kind of means. We lived middle class in a very middle class Chicago workers area. Like the postman was next door, the cop was across the street, the fireman was down the street. I mean, we all lived in a pretty blue collared neighborhood of Chicago. No put down, I'm just saying. So that's where I grew up. My high school had 4,000 people there, so it was probably in many regards just a typical Chicago high school. It was way up on the north side of Chicago, so your typical walk, bike ride, or bus ride, uphill both ways to school and home. So that was all fine. And then when I was going through high school, my folks divorced. And it was definitely life-changing. I'm the oldest of three brothers. Danny was a couple of years younger, and Andy was 5 years younger. So it changed everybody's life on a trajectory that is quite sad, because my Danny was the first to pass away at the age of 28. His next door neighbor shot him in front of his house.
Damn.
He widowed his wife and 3 small kids.
Wow.
Next to go was my dad some years later, as he battled unsuccessfully stage 4 lung cancer. Mom, surprisingly, also went a few years after Dad, as she went up to go to the bathroom middle of the night, unfortunately had a stroke, fell forward, hit her head, bled out on the bathroom floor.
Oh my God.
And last to go was Andy. And Andy got introduced to drugs when he went into the Army, and like many, became an addict, a double addict. Not only coke, but also that led into crack.
Yeah.
So he was constantly in and out of rehabs, in and out of VAs, and I think, and I tried to prove it with the cops, but they didn't want to hear it. I think he got in with a bad dealer. Next thing you know, he showed up literally on the doorstep of a hospital, and he was badly beaten. He was badly bruised, with a number of ribs cracked. When I asked the cop, okay, he died from injuries. How did he get those injuries? Well, he fell out of bed. pretty laughable. Pretty laughable. But it was apparent that the cop had no clue and they wanted to close the case. And to have an open drug case, I guess, is bad on their record.
Yeah, cold case.
Since I couldn't prove otherwise, I mean, how do I prove it? Go find the druggy guy? Excuse me. So, yeah, Andy's life ended very, very sad. So, I'm normal.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good
I'm the
thing.
normal guy. Well, what's normal?
What is normal?
So, my background is not unusual. I think we all can relate to, I've got addicts and alcoholics in my family, and I've had people tragically pass away. I'm right there. I'm in that group.
I think
I've just decided I'm never, and I'll encourage everybody, I am never going to look at myself as a victim. So when I got into corporate life, and whether I was let go for my own stupid actions or not, well, just let go because of a merger acquisition. Okay, I'm not a victim here. It's an opportunity. I'm going to learn some things. I'm going to take that experience. I'm going to move on to the next one, and I'm going to be better off. And most of the time, that truly is the case.
Yeah.
Most of the time. So my life-changing experiences, I had some great jobs. Those were life-changing. I got to buy a great home and really supply great things for my family. And the other time, we've had hard times where I was unemployed for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a tough one to make it through.
That happened to be around like the 2008 or so?
Correct.
Yeah. My dad had a similar thing. He used to, he worked at Pratt & Whitney at the time, and they had a big layoff around then. It took him like a year or two before he could get another job. Just not a good time.
Not a good time. So, does that answer your question, Grump?
Yes, it does, and it's actually a really good answer. So it's not just a moment; it's your whole life, really. That's been kind of like leading up to the man that you are today. I hear that a lot of negativity happened around you, but I like that. I like that you said that you're not going to let yourself be a victim. I think that's a pretty good attitude to have, and that kind of actually goes along with like the following question, which you kind of like started answering it. But I feel like now that you told us this little bit of a story, it's like, okay, now I'm for sure certain that this is going to be a good question for you. Where like nowadays, for example, everybody knows there's a bunch of crazy things happening. There's crazy storms all over the world. There's earthquakes happening here and there, pestilence in Africa, floods. We are all experiencing corona. It's just, and of course the rioting that's happening in the United States, and
Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria.
Exactly. A lot of things are happening. And so the question is, what advice can you give to the Zoomers and the Boomers to get through these hard moments? Because from that story, you've gotten through a lot of tough times in your life. And so what do you personally do to stay positive? And do you have some advice on how we can stay positive and keep moving forward, even when things seem to be like at their darkest?
Like I said, Grum, nice softball questions. What do you think of that meme, Pete? Yeah, this meme is called the apocalypse. Thanks.
Yeah. It's called Fallout in real life.
I know. You just named some great Hollywood movie. There's a producer listening right now going, hey, that's good.
The producer of the movie is the Lord.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, yeah, this guy Antichrist comes on the scene, and anyway. Yeah. All right, so I agree. During these times, we all go through some mental gymnastics where we're all scratching our head going, I'm not listening to the news anymore, because whether it's fake or it's real, it's depressing.
Yeah. I used to listen to the news, like my mom would have me watch things like Bill Maher and everything, and just a whole bunch of stuff, and I just like no matter what I watched, there was always some sort of bias to something, and I just got realized that like all this is doing is giving me stress and anger that is like completely unneeded and unjustified.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I think
Yeah.
the situation continues to, if I'm going to use this word and then I'll define it again, but exacerbate. It continues to 2x itself by itself. It continues to grow at a magnitude because it's trying to grow at its own magnitude. So what do you do during these times? Whether this is some great conspiracy going on, some movie that we're all a part of, what do you do?
Don't break the fourth wall yet.
Yes, there's a line in the movie. I don't know if you guys saw it with Dwayne Johnson, and it's that earthquake over there in San Francisco. What was the name of that movie?
San Andreas?
San Antonio's?
San Andreas. That's it, San Andreas. So there's a line in there, you know, single-handedly he's going to save the entire city. So that there, I just ruined the end for you. But
I haven't
Spoilers.
seen that one,
yeah.
but I wasn't gonna watch it anyway.
Well, if you're a rock fan, if you really like him, you're gonna like the movie. But anyway,
think
there's a line in there where literally there's another earthquake going on. They're at the big football stadium there in San Francisco, and signs are falling down. You know, buildings are literally tottering over, and it's a great scene. And afterward, he had just saved, of course, you know, hundreds of people and single-handedly. And this one woman looks at him and goes, how do you do that? Well, his character in the movie is he's a first responder in a helicopter. So he's already a first responder.
Yeah.
And he looks at her, and he's standing next to a wall, puts his hand on the wall, and he says, what you do in times of trouble is you find something that you can lean into, and you go ahead and you stay right there. His wife, who's estranged at him in the movie at this point, she looks at him, wells up with tears, and it's as if the little light bulb in her head went off and said, I'm an idiot to have left this guy. And from that moment on in the movie, they're now on the road back together. But it's a great line, I thought, that, and for me, I'll go ahead and I'll define the wall. The wall for me is a personal relationship that I have with the Lord Jesus. So the world is going to, you know, if you really want to fast forward into the Bible, and I don't really want to make this all a Jesus talk here, but you definitely can find, you know, what's going to happen in the end times. Hopefully that's centuries away. But nonetheless, I hold on to that book and its promises, and I believe God is going to come through. I believe that somehow, through all of crisis, that he's still in control. And I've looked in the Old Testament, and I've seen story after story where even the nation of Israel had to go through some pretty darn tough times. They had some good kings that really did great things. We've all heard, I hope, about King David, King Solomon, some great kings with great, great kingdoms. Unfortunately, they had some bad kings. And you can fill in the blank on who you think's a bad king. But the point is, they did make it through. God let them kind of suffer until they stopped and turned their attention to him. And then he kind of put his arms around them and got things all straightened out again. So what do we do in our times? I'd really say find that wall that you can lean into. That wall for me is Jesus. Read his word, lean into it. And then from there, then you stand up, you stick your hand out, and you help that next person next to you.
Yeah.
And I hate the mob, whoever the mob is. I hate the mob. Because who put you in charge? Who says that what you're saying is the right way to go, is the right thing to do? Who says? Well, I've got, 20 people here all screaming and chanting the same thing. So who are you to tell me? Who says? So the craziness going on, drop back, step back in your huddle. I don't know what your huddle is, but I'm presuming it's your friends.
Yeah.
Step back in that huddle, get a little distance. Like you said, Kat, you used to watch the news constantly. So did I. But step back from it. Take a break. Clear the head. Clear the emotions. Then we're able to get back on the field and start playing.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, and beautifully so. I love the movie reference and everything you said, Pete. And I have to say, I would like to vote for more dad talk videos.
You know,
that was perfect.
Thank you. And I did them, and the last one I did was so discouraging. I stopped doing them. I went out to Colorado, spent a bunch of money, had drones flying around. Basically, we had our own mountain. We do this bonfire at night, and I'm there with my two sons, and one of them had his fiance there, Josh. No secret, Josh and PJ, and Josh had his fiance there, and we did the dad talk right there at the campfire, which I thought is pretty cool, right? Pretty candid, pretty real, and its views were in the toilet. And I figured, okay, I guess it's over. People don't either want to hear me or hear the talks.
Well, two of my favorite things from you have always been dad talks and repeat news.
Yeah.
So I'm always ready for those, which is hilarious because I think that right now you just mentioned that dad talks didn't do so well, and I believe you mentioned repeat news didn't do so well. Those were two of my favorite type of videos that you've ever done.
Now you were one of the 30,000 then that liked it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the thing about YouTube. You always think like you're always, yay, I have reached 1 million subscribers, which in my case I haven't. At my rate, it's gonna take me 1 million years to get there. But I think like even like successful channels can sort of fall down the drain and be forgotten quite easily, and then like have 1 million subscribers and barely any viewers.
Man, the internet news moves fast.
Yeah, it's hard to keep that sort of flame alive, or just how should I say it?
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah.
How to sort of constantly be relevant.
I think the only person who's done it successfully is Weird Al. Weird Al.
Weird Al Yankovic?
Yeah.
Monix?
No, I don't know.
Oh, you don't know Weird Al? Well, he's a national treasure here in the U.S.
I'm not U.S. I'm German.
So. Got it.
Yeah, that's right. They don't have
I guess
they don't have
what
humor
made
over
Weird
there.
Al so popular was his songs. When he could take a Michael Jackson song and truly be one of the first memes, if you will, and took it and spoofed it, and we all laughed.
That's exactly what I was about to say. You should probably do some parody songs, Pete.
Parodies, exactly.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny? Actually, I was thinking of rapping to some old. Remember the books? Well, maybe you did or didn't have parents that read you, books at bedtime. But Dr. Seuss, Bernstein Bears. I was thinking, wouldn't that be kind of fun to kind of just rap through some of that?
Yeah.
Green eggs and ham.
Yes, please.
It's always a good way to sort of stick out in the masses of YouTube, even the famous people, like having unique content.
Yeah, I think your calling, Pete, has always been to be that dad, pretty much. That dad on the internet that is not afraid, and which I always appreciated, is not afraid to be silly. Because a lot of people they put too much on what people think, but you don't mind. You just you remind me of my own father every once in a while, where it's like as long as he was doing something that made people happy, and as long as he was taking care of his family loved him. He didn't care what he did. As long he could be as silly as he wanted in public, but as long as his family was happy and as people were enjoying it, and he was doing something good, and he wouldn't care what people thought.
there you go. At some point, you're right. You got to kind of put your little stake in the ground and say, yeah, I'm going to stand right here and be who I am.
Yeah.
Yes. Be who you are.
I really did enjoy the conversation, Pete. I know Kat and Monix have. I don't know if you have enough time, but what we normally do is we have two little segments. We kind of like went to the I'd call it the meat and the potatoes of the podcast. But we do have these tiny segments where it's like we talk about the inefficient item, and that we've kind of like picked throughout the week, and then I just we bring up also like a few inefficient news items of the week, which is just really just silly news. So if you have time for it, we'd love to have you stick around for those.
I can give me 10-15 minutes then.
Yeah, around 10-15 minutes.
Yeah. All right, go.
All right, cool. In that case, let's start off with Kat. I'm gonna put him in the spotlight. Kat, you mentioned you might have an inefficient item.
Yeah, I've got a couple.
All right. Cool.
The main one being the amount of money that I've been spending on food. DoorDash is expensive, and I really shouldn't be ordering pizzas at like 11 o'clock p.m. But I have this insane metabolism where I can eat 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day and just like be fine.
Oh, I know that.
Youth.
Yeah.
Wasted on the young.
No. It's a great thing now, gentlemen. It's a great thing now. Enjoy it.
I bought like $40 worth of food yesterday that I was gonna, spread out through the next like 5 days, and I've already eaten most of it. So
nice.
You literally ate it pretty much on stream.
Yeah,
in a 2-hour stream.
That is awesome.
We need gamer fuel.
Gamer fuel.
You're beyond gamer fuel, dude.
I'm doing actually sort of the reverse thing, because now that I have sort of a job, you can call it more of an internship. Like I told myself, like, yeah, I'm gonna go maybe get snacks like once a week. Now I bought some yesterday, and if I would have eaten them at the normal, before in quotation marks normal rate, they would have been gone by now. And I just noticed, like, because recently I've been trying to sort of live healthier again.
Good.
Yes, like I bought 2 bags of, how do you call these even in English? Literal translation would be take 2.
Like little bars, like granola bars or something?
No, it's I don't know, I just Are you gonna edit this? Otherwise I can just post a picture of it in like the group.
Yeah. We'll have a picture. We'll have a picture of what they are.
And is there
gets to edit it in, blame him.
Yes.
Here. Is there a second inefficient item you had, Kat?
Probably the 3080, because I have a 1080 and I play in 1080p, and that's fine. That's good enough. But I'm still gonna buy one. I'm still gonna spend the money on a new graphics card, even though I don't need it.
And weren't you gonna tell us about Cooper?
Yeah, Cooper's an efficient item. It was to buy like around a couple weeks ago a RTX 2080, and now his card is obsolete and is like half of what it was worth when he bought it just a month or 2. Yeah.
Dang.
That's the timing ever.
Dang.
So now he's like, I need a 3080, but I just bought the
1500. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Can I just finish like what I was saying, because I didn't say. I didn't really finish it.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I didn't want to interrupt you. Like at the normal rate, the like candy would have been gone by now, but now I just noticed like I've eaten maybe half of one bag, so a fourth.
Nice.
Which is way better.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say, since I'm down the road a little further, gentlemen, enjoy it now. So eat the ice cream, eat the chips and dip and pizza and stuff. because I've always had that high metabolism, Cat. Always. And I would be at the gym twice a day. So to burn through a ton of calories, not a problem. I used to get people saying, I can't believe you eat the way you eat and you don't gain weight.
Yeah.
However, then comes YouTube, where you sit. And if you're a good gamer, you sit for hours.
Oh,
you cross your legs at great
Extra
pain.
fit.
And you sit even longer. Meanwhile, you try to stay hydrated.
Oh yes,
So,
that's a huge
I
problem.
yes, it is. So I will say my metabolism is so slow compared to what it used to be. And it's a lifestyle. The lifestyle of a gamer, YouTuber, is sedimentary. If you're probably more a gamer than a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so sedimentary. What does that mean, Pete? So you sit.
Sedentary.
It's so sedate.
Sedentary.
Yes.
It's very.
You turn into sandstone. It's sedimentary.
You're not burning calories swiveling the chair while you're gaming. All right,
Yeah.
It's not happening.
That's why I have one
Unless
of
you're
these.
playing 12 hours of intense combat. Right.
There you go. Little
Just a
VR.
little VR
Little
headset.
VR. Well, at least I got a PC now to handle the VR. But the new stuff from NVIDIA, awesome. Can't wait. Even though I have a new PC with a 2080 Ti card, I would give it up tomorrow. I would give it away if I was able to get a new sponsor from NVIDIA.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a great card. I love what they're doing. I love the direction. I mean, no wonder their stock immediately got a nice big bump. Good for them.
Yeah. They're taking on the Xbox and PS5 by force.
They have to.
Of course.
Yep.
It's a competitive market, so
Exactly.
like the stuff from last year is sort of irrelevant by now.
Mm-hmm.
More or less.
I do like. I don't know if you watched the presentation, Pete, but Jensen said that we know that gamers found the 20 series to be a disappointing generational leap, and I thought that was good of them. They acknowledged that people were looking for way more performance than what we got last generation, and so they gave us what we wanted this one.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think they over delivered. I mean, that 3090, 24 gigs with DDR6. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's an 8K board. Like, what? 8K? That's craziness.
Yeah.
So I can't wait, to one day own it and get it my new PC
We can
and
finally play
let it go.
Crisis. Or wait, no, now the new meme is Flight Sim. Have you played that game yet?
no.
You should. I don't know if you have the Game Pass on PC, but you can just get the Game Pass. It's like $5 a month, and you have access to Microsoft Flight Sim. It's really fun. I think it would make a good stream. Captain Pete as our pilot for the evening.
Yeah. Just don't start screaming as we hurl into the ground.
This is your captain speaking. We may approach land soon.
This will not be
In a not
healthy.
so healthy way.
Yes.
Wearing your little captain's hat as
Yeah.
a stream.
Arr.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, I guess I know you got to go soon, Pete. So how about I just walk us through the inefficient news, and I want to get your reactions to this kind of stuff. This is news around the world, pretty much, and I'll run through it fairly quick because I know you got to go soon. How's that?
All right.
All right, so this news actually comes from Scotland. I actually went through Reddit trying to find some silly news. This is titled, Woman Sees Jesus' Face on a Potato. So a woman in Scotland was unpacking her groceries when she spotted Jesus' face in a discoloration of a potato skin. As soon as I put the packet on the kitchen top, I saw it, says Nikki, who told the Southwest News Service. I was staring at it, and it was just quite obvious. It was Jesus' face. It was just looking at me. The potato was included in a larger bag of potatoes that cost Hawkerston roughly $1.50. The natural discoloration seems to depict the face of a bearded man. I've seen stories before about people finding Jesus in their food, but I can never usually see it, she said. This was just so obviously him. I called my husband into the kitchen. He's usually really skeptical about these sort of things. He never gets overexcited about anything, but even he agreed it looked like Jesus. Reportedly, Hawkerson has since eaten the potato.
Do you have an image of it? Do you have an image to show us of the potato?
Unfortunately, no image. I don't have images for these news articles, but I love the fact that she was so excited about it. And she's like, husband, come here. And then they still ate the potato at the end.
Destroy the evidence.
That was actually brought to us by from Scotland, which was actually kind of interesting. There's another one that actually came from California. Crazy stuff happens in California all the time. It says here, detectives bust thief for stealing nearly $300,000 worth of pistachios. So there's probably a lot of somebody read this article here.
Why?
There's probably a lot of high-fiving going on in the agricultural crimes unit of Tulare County, California Sheriff's Office after some of its detectives busted what they describe as an elaborate scheme involving the theft of almost $300,000 worth of pistachios and a pair of stolen tractor trailers. According to a Facebook post from the sheriff's office, which starts with the words "major bust" in all caps, its detectives were called to Seton Pistachio, where employees reported a significant theft of its packaged nuts. The Seton workers said that someone had used the name of a real trucking company to get the go-ahead to pick up 2 tractor trailers worth of pistachios from the company, but instead of fulfilling the delivery order, the pseudo drivers took all $294,000 worth of nuts to an abandoned property, shook all the pistachios out of the packages, and then sold them to an unsuspecting individual in Madera County. Which I like that part there, because it's just a scenario where this guy just comes up to them and is like, "Hey, you got $294,000 worth of pistachios." The other guy's like, yeah, I actually do have $294,000 worth of pistachio. Okay, I'll buy them. I'll buy all those.
Why? But why?
But why is the question? Exactly. I like how the whole article actually ends with the words, "The cops were able to recover both trailers and all the pistachios, parenthesis, although who knows what will happen to those innocent nuts." Oh, man.
Nice.
National news, which actually kind of like it goes with the cat here. KFC suspends its finger licking good slogan because of coronavirus.
Yeah.
So Kentucky Fried Chicken has decided to pause using its finger licking good slogan because, well, that's probably not the best idea right now. Several months after health officials recommended everyone stop touching their faces to help stop the spread of coronavirus, KFC said Monday that the 64-year-old slogan doesn't feel quite right. "We find ourselves in a unique situation, having an iconic slogan that doesn't quite fit into the current environment," said Catherine Tan Gillespie, probably butchered the name, global chief marketing officer at KFC, in a statement. "The menu isn't changing, and the company said the slogan will return when the time is right." So they said all this, and they even made a commercial to go along with this, which I figured you might actually enjoy, Pete, and of course, all the listeners may enjoy. Can you actually play that for us, Kat?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Just
I don't know if it's KFC, if it's not finger licking good.
I know, right?
Yeah, they just.
I think you're gonna like this, though.
They just sent us a whole bunch of.
I can't recall ever eating anything at KFC ever.
It's in a DM to you, Kat, by the way.
Yeah, I found it.
Nice.
I will share this with everyone.
Yes, please. All right, I'm watching.
They censor it.
Yeah.
It looks like something different when they censor it.
Really?
Yeah.
I like how they censor, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's no longer it's finger looking good. It's good.
It's good.
It looks like they're saying something like, it's frickin' good! When they censor it like that.
I mean, that's...
Yeah, I can confirm.
That's one way to
they,
put it. Like, it's...
Our sauce, our finger-licking good sauce, they stopped sending us that. They sent us a whole, like, menu board thing that we replace our menu with that has gotten rid of all that stuff, and I think we're gonna get new buckets soon. I don't know. I guess
sponsor, not sponsor, KFC.
I guess
Yeah.
yes. I guess if it makes people happy, then why not? But I just don't like the fact that I have to keep changing the menu board. It's a pain.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's all the news I have, gentlemen.
Yeah.
There you go. News you can't use. Brought to you by the Inefficient Podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where the smile is yours. Well,
Thanks,
gentlemen,
man.
I can't say thank you both thank you all enough for the privilege of being the first guest on your podcast.
Thank you
I'm
for
sure
stopping by.
it's going to continue to grow
Yes.
with great laughter and great smiles all across the world. Thank you for
Hope
the
so.
privilege to be here.
Well, thank you for joining us, Pete.
And thank you, Pete. We really did enjoy everything we talked about. So, you know, you're welcome back anytime.
You are.
Okay. Thank you.
And
Thank
Stu-
you.
And for those of
All
you
right,
who
thank you
want
so much, Pete.
I guess you're going to be
And-
going and streaming over on twitch.tv/VoiceOverPete.
Yes.
The link to it.
And if you miss it, just go to YouTube, VoiceOverPete, and find your favorite gameplay videos.
All the links to
Yes.
socials.
Tell them how much you want more dad talks and
Yes.
repeat news.
Links
Maybe.
and
We'll
socials
see.
for him
And you
will be
can
in the
find the
description.
links to everybody in the description of this
Yeah.
video. For
There you
certain.
go.
Well, thanks everyone for watching
There you
or
go.
listening, and we hope you all from the Inefficient Podcast, from the bottom of our hearts, we hope you all stay safe and have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.